news broke last night before we knew it was her, and CNN actually reporting that the Justice Department had subpoenaed the House for documents related to a criminal inquiry or case involving the alleged misuse of funds, misuse of public money. And since they subpoenaed the House, it was obviously a member of the House they were looking into. It appears that they have a grand jury looking into this. Then today, Punchbowl News reported, and I believe broke, that the Justice Department is conducting a criminal probe into Cori Bush, according to 6 sources familiar with the investigation. DOJ subpoenaed the House Sergeant of Arms for records relating to the misspending of federal security money. Punchbowl's Max Cohen, they go on, asked Cori Bush about the investigation directly last night. Max Cohen reports she repeatedly, I'm quoting him here, declined to comment and reprimanded me for approaching her as she had a toothache. Just as a reminder to the audience, I know you know who she is. This is a controversial member of the squad. She is a BLM activist who got involved locally in protests over Michael Brown and parlayed that into a congressional career. First Black woman to represent Missouri in Congress. Very, very big on defund police. Wants to expand the U.S. Supreme Court. Wants to cancel student debt. Still says Michael Brown was an example of overzealous white cops unfairly killing black men with no justification, even though Eric Holder's DOJ said the opposite. Threatened Biden if he did not appoint a black Supreme Court justice. So this is just to give you a taste. But her use of public monies to pay for her own security as she's trying to defund police. So if you're a poor black person in the inner city, you don't get coverage. But if you're Cori Bush, you're good because Glenn Beck and Megyn Kelly and all of our listeners are paying for her security.
Right. I mean,
she got in trouble.
I don't know why you have a problem with this, Megyn.
It's my white privilege. It's my white Karen tears.
That's exactly what's talking here.
So she got in trouble before because the person she hired to provide security for her was her boyfriend, who I don't know whether this person ever had any history in security whatsoever, but they were together before she started paying him a shit ton of money. Forgive me.
Wow, you know what?
Then they got married.
This sounds like a little like somebody in Georgia. Kind of the same thing in Georgia.
It's a pattern.
It? Wow.
It's a pattern. Here she is when she was asked about that controversy back in 2021 with the boyfriend. Take a listen.
I'm going to make sure I have security because I know I have had attempts on my life and I have too much work to do. There are too many people that need help right now for me to allow that. So if I end up spending $200,000, if I spend $10 more on it, you know what? I get to be here to do the work. So suck it up, and defunding the police has to happen.
Well, maybe not. We don't know why they're investigating her, but it could be something like this because they say, again, relating to federal security money and its misspending. Your thoughts?
My thoughts are, again, all of this is coming undone, which makes me wonder what the plan is next. When you've got this plan, it's going well, and you've got everybody, playing their role, and the victim is not aware. It's great. But soon as the victim is aware and they're like, wait a minute, that person, this thing, I think they're all in cahoots on something. What happens? They either have to get out and run, or they've got to change their plans and do something else that makes their plan happen faster, because they're all being exposed. All of this is being exposed. And the American people, for the first time, are starting to wake up. So what's the game plan? BLM, we know that was BLM Inc. What happened to all that money? Oh, only God knows. But nobody really looked into it. We're seeing all of these things and people being discredited over and over and over again. At some point, if you want to hold this together, you have to have your Justice Department. I'll see, this had never happened. Have your Justice Department and your media department, some sort of social media overlords, start to make sure that people can't discuss it online. They can't share it with one another, and the arm of the law comes down and makes their lives miserable. If they do engage in this, that's the only option. It either comes undone and the American people get their freedom back, or they're going to become more oppressive.
It's in so many lanes, right? Of course, we've talked many times about the COVID censorship, but the BLM messaging, of course, has been censored in a different way, right? You get shamed. Yeah. You get shamed as you're a racist. You're yep. Anti-black racist. You have to say that now, anti-black racist. Because there's plenty of anti-white racists in that BLM crowd. Mm-hmm. Most of them in BLM Inc. On Main Street, local credit unions and community banks are the heart of our small towns. When these institutions are united in opposition to the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill, Congress might want to take note. Our sponsor, the Electronic Payments Coalition, says the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill favors corporate megastores like Walmart and Target, shifting costs and risks unfairly onto credit unions, community banks, and the 140 million customers they serve. Find out more at electronicpaymentscoalition.org and see for yourself if you want to tell Congress to protect America's credit unions and community banks and oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. Visit electronicpaymentscoalition.org to take action. Hey, thanks so much for watching. If you like what you just saw, hit the subscribe button for more clips and full episodes.